They are mighty warriors from ancient Japan. Their fates brought them to face great challenges and perils. Their lives are filled with drama, tragedy, and triumphs. Their world mixes real history with fantastical events. They are ronins, they are ninjas, they are monsters, knights and priests. These samurai spirits have gone through so many changes and development throughout the years of the franchise's history. These are their stories. These are the Bushido Tales. Watching the intro of Samurai Shodown back in the 90s shows a Japanese ronin meditating in front of a sakura tree. As he is confronted by vision of a demon, the Japanese warrior strikes all what is around him in an instant, leaving us with one of the most iconic video game intros. The ronin is Haohmaru, and he is the protagonist of the Samurai Shodown series. Haohmaru's personality was based on the real historical figure of Miyamoto Musashi, a legendary warrior who claimed to never lose a fight. His design was a direct nod to the character of Haohmaru from the Dororo to Hakimaru anime. Haohmaru has been in every Samurai Shodown game with his iconic look and memorable special moves, which include the Senpuretsuzan, Ikogetsuzan, Reshinzan, Sake Kugeki, Tenha Seiyuzan, and his ultimate attack, the Tenha Fujinzan. Haohmaru learned the art of swordsmanship by himself as a young child. Feeling that he became an invincible warrior, a 15-year-old Haohmaru traveling the land challenged the Tokugawa sword fighting teacher, Jubei Yagyu. Haohmaru was no match for the master swordsman and lost. This small battle was what changed Haohmaru's life forever. This is also where he got his face scar that he continues to have. Jubei Yagyu, who was amused by Haohmaru's brash attitude, saw potential in the young soon-to-be hero, so he decided to take Haohmaru to an old friend of his, the old hermit Caffeine Nicotine. While training and living within Caffeine's dojo, Haohmaru got to meet the old hermit's other student, Genjuro Kibagami. The two became friends, even though their way of life are opposites. While Haohmaru sees killing an opponent as something only done when necessary, Genjuro believed that an enemy he fights that is inferior to him should die. Nevertheless, the friendship between the two grew stronger, but Nicotine was worried about young Genjiro's violent tendencies and hunger for power. Few years later, when Amakusa Shiro Tokisada was resurrected, he paid a visit to Haohmaru, claiming that he wants him to join the dark forces of the Dark Lord Ambrosia, as he is one of the strongest warriors in the land. Genjuro, who overheard the conversation, was mad with rage, as he sees himself better than Haohmaru. He instantly challenged our hero and beat him, as Haohmaru was holding back fighting his friend. Consumed with rage, Genjuro was set to strike Haohmaru with a fatal blow, but luckily, Nicotine intervened at the last moment, saving Haohmaru's life. Disappointed in his student, Nicotine kicks Genjuro out of the dojo, as the latter claimed that he was leaving anyway, as he felt his way of life and thinking is superior to that of his master and friend. After Genjuro left the temple, Nicotine decided to reward Haohmaru's patience, courage, and compassion by giving him his treasured weapon, the Fugudoku katana sword. During his time at Nicotine's dojo, Haohmaru met and fell in love with a young woman named Shizu Wakisaka, or as he calls her, Oshizu. The two shared a romantic relationship, but knowing that the world is in turmoil and wanting to prove his strength, Haohmaru decides to end his relationship with Oshizu and travels the land. His travels allowed him to meet Yoshitora Tokugawa, the heir of the shogunate, who was also trained by Jubei as well as Gao. When Haohmaru challenged Yoshitora to a battle, The latter declined and informed him about the Lord of Hinoa, Gao, who had started a rebellion. Haohmaru embarks on a journey to find strong warriors in the Hinoa War. 2 years after Gao's defeat, Haohmaru decides to find the source of calamities and natural disasters that are taking over Japan and the world. He soon finds out that Amakusa, the demon who visited him a few years back, is destroying the world, trying to resurrect the demon Ambrosia. Along with the help of many other warriors, Haohmaru was able to defeat Amakusa. Right after his beloved Yoshizu made her presence known, as she followed him to Shimabara. Sadly, Haohmaru dismissed her, telling her that he does not want to have to choose between his sword and the woman he loves. Shortly after Amakusa's defeat, Haohmaru encounters a young amnesic traveler, Shizumaru Hisame. The young boy who was searching for the murderer of his family, a demon by the name of Zankuro Minazuki, asks Haohmaru for help. The brash hero decided to take young Shizumaru under his wing and taught him the sword techniques. The two would later find Zankuro and defeat him. Shortly after, Haohmaru gets attacked by a possessed demon. He slayed the assailant and goes on to tell the story to his old master Caffeine Nicotine. The old hermit recognizes the assailant and tells Haohmaru about the demon priestess Mizuki and warns him to stay away. Hot-headed as always, Haohmaru decides to take on the evil force with the help of Nakoruru and other warriors. During the battle, both he and Nakoruru had entered the Makai world to face Mizuki, and thanks to a reformed Amakusa, Haohmaru defeats Mizuki, ending the threat of Ambrosia's resurrection. In his ending in Samurai Shodown 2, Genjuro shows up right after the Mizuki battle and takes on Haohmaru. The hero wounded from his battle with Mizuki lost the fight, but as Genjuro was about to strike the wounded Haohmaru, Oshizu, Haohmaru's old lover, shows up and stops between the two. She pleads Genjuro to not kill him and instead challenge him when he's better. This results in Genjuro sparing his life. Haohmaru embraces Oshizu and apologizes to her as he tells her that he cannot have love in his current life. It would then take 3 years before the next threat emerges. Haohmaru feels that he's been watched by a mysterious woman. He has no idea who she is and what she wants. He soon discovers that the woman in question is named Shiki. She is a brainwashed warrior by the Makai puppeteer Yuga. In order for Yugas to achieve a perfect resurrection in the mortal world, he would need to do so through the union of a man and a female warriors. So he brainwashed Shiki and tasked her to find the strongest warrior in Japan and be her counterpart. Seeing that he's unsuccessful, Yuga resurrects himself through 2 other warriors he created and faces Haohmaru. The latter easily defeated Yuga's imperfect physical form. Yuga will make another attempt 2 years later, where he asks his latest creation, Ashura, to defeat and bring Haohmaru to him. With his mind control power, Yuga brainwashes Haohmaru and turns him into the demon sword known as Sword Demon Haohmaru, a form that would be the base of the character of Rasetsumaru. Along with Ashura and Shiki, Haohmaru became a protector of Yuga, but only for a short period of time, as Ashura, who splits into 2 forms, regains consciousness and kills Yuga once and for all, freeing both Shiki and Haohmaru from the demon's control. Shortly after Yuga's defeat, Kibagami Genjuro and Haohmaru decide to fight their fated battle to the death. This time, Haohmaru lost, but right at the moment when Genjuro was about to land his final blow, a young kid stabs Genjuro in the back. This young kid had his father killed by Genjuro the assassin. Haohmaru takes his old friend and helps him out, but moments later, Genjuro dies. Haohmaru buries his old friend and enemy, and as promised, years later comes back as an old man and toasts to his old friend in front of his grave. The story of Haohmaru does not end here, and if Samurai Shodown Warrior's Rage is canon, then Haohmaru will grow to become an old man and a very talented sword master who will take care and raise Shiki's and Ashura's daughter. But we don't know if the Warrior's Rage is canon or if it will stay canon with the new timeline. So thus ends the history of Haohmaru. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Bushido Tales. If you like it, please make sure to like and subscribe. And if you can help us, please donate through PayPal or become a patron through Patreon. Until next time, thanks for watching.